I was talking to our dog just now, as you do when you're working by yourself in the middle of nowhere. And no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know about all this work that's gone into it except for this video. No one's gonna understand like all the different intricacies and all this stuff that I've always taken for granted as I just walk into a finished house. This is all the work that goes into it. And it's a lot. We are getting ready for our slab to start getting poured, and we've got a ton of rain over the last week. Like we had like 5 days of just non-stop downpour. Here comes Toby. And so our house site, because it is almost exclusively on bedrock, is just a swimming pool. And so what I gotta do is I gotta go up there and I have to pump out all that water so that when we start getting our gravel trucked in, there's somewhere for it to go. Come here, buddy. Good boy. So that when our gravel starts getting dropped off, and when we have our skid steer here, we can actually start putting it straight on the ground and get ready for our concrete. So first thing I got to do is I got to get our pump working. I've never actually used it. We got it off of the previous owners of this house, and I haven't had a chance to use it yet. So before I go up to the house site, I'm gonna stick it in the pond, see if I can get it all working. Hopefully I've got the right type of oil, because it probably needs some oil, and we'll go from here. So let's see if that pump works, then we'll get the house site pumped out. We got a lot of the water out. It still looks pretty wet. I'm hoping that A, it doesn't rain overnight, B, that some of this will evaporate off. What I'm working on right now is trying to get rid of all of the organic material that we have where our slab's gonna go before we get the gravel on here. The reason why you do this is so that if you leave all that organic matter in there, like all the roots, as they decompose and break down, you're gonna have a void there. They're gonna, slowly get eaten away. And then if you have a root, pile of branches, whatever, as it breaks down, it's gonna actually create space underneath the slab. And then you might actually have your slab settle a little bit, and that settling could cause ripple effects up through your building. So not only can your slab crack, can also cause your walls to shift more than they ought to, and if you have drywall, it could break and stuff. So I'm just literally going through, and because it's all odd shaped bedrock, it's so tough getting all these different grooves and stuff to make sure that everything's scooped out of there. But I got to do this by tomorrow because we got gravel coming, and if I don't have this cleaned up, then all that gravel just needs to get put somewhere else, and don't want that. This is all the organic material that I'm getting rid of. These are all the roots of the trees and the plants and everything that was living in this forest. And it's crazy to think that all this forest that's surrounding me is just, a thin layer of soil. And it's been so cool watching all the roots of the trees zigzagging their way through all of these different grooves in the rock. But I gotta get all this out of here, scoop by scoop. All right, we just got our first load of gravel. He said, good to go for 10, and it is 12 o'clock. So I got 2 extra hours of work to do, which was great. I have almost the entire site grubbed out. But right here behind me is what I have to look forward to. So I asked him, how long between trips? And he said, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm thinking it's probably 25 minutes there, 25 minutes back, plus the actual loading and stuff. So I've got probably just over an hour. And so I think what I'm gonna have to do, because I don't have any heavy equipment here, by hand, I'm gonna have to try to spread it out so that hopefully the dump truck can come further back and actually start filling up this big hole here, right in the middle. I was told that we have 6 loads coming today. And so got an hour and a half, so I gotta get woken up and get going. Halfway there. Whew. This is gonna be a long hour. All right, we got a busy day ahead of us. The skid steer is getting dropped off sometime this morning. The rest of the gravel that's sitting behind me, and I think 3 or 4 more loads of gravel are coming this morning so that we can get the house side all filled in, and then hopefully we can actually get all the gravel flattened out, packed down enough so that the dump truck can then come with our filter sand for our septic, which is just on the back side of where our house is gonna be. I can't do that until the skid steer gets here. So before it gets here, I gotta re-drain this puddle because we got more rain on the weekend. And then I still have to clean off all the organic material from the back rocks here and that pile of sand up there too. So got some work ahead of me this morning. Let's go. I've been working with the skid steer, trying to get everything ready, but now I have an actual professional here who can tell me whether or not I'm wasting my time, and so far he says that I haven't been, which is great. So my concrete guy and I, we just put all of the pins in for every corner of the house. So there's the 4 corners of obviously the house, but then we have a dormer as well. And so we marked all of those places, squared off the building so that we can now attach the forms to it. And so tonight, or this evening, before it's time for me to pack it in, I'm just gonna go around the perimeter of the house. There's a few areas where the gravel kind of falls off a little bit, so I'm gonna bring the level up and then rake it flat, and then probably take the tamper around to make sure everything gets packed down so that we're ready to go for setting up the forms.